Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna say some words and
Okay.
you tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay. All right.
Okay? Opportunity.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would totally say the same
Yeah.
thing.
As a child of immigrants, like I really, really won the lottery. So like my dad is the only son from his family that made it here to the States. I'm his
Yeah,
only
wow.
son. So I'm the Simba to his Mufasa.
Yeah.
So I have to deliver like the
Yeah.
American dream. And I did this documentary called Stand Up Planet. It was done with the Melinda Gates Foundation. It was in 2013. Basically, I go around the world and I met comedians in different parts of the world that use comedy to talk about social change. So I went to India and I met comedians that are talking about censorship and
I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah, so I went there. People in the slums would bring you into their house. I remember going to this one family, they were the Khan family, and I went to their little like shack, and the cutlery, the plates,
yeah.
the way they had arranged everything
With dignity,
was
grace.
clean. And it was like, it made me feel embarrassed. I'm like,
Right.
there's like sneakers and shoes and just like, it looks like a bomb went off in my closet. Like, what are you doing?
I know.
But it gave me perspective. And I think a lot of times in the first world, we look at them through a window of like poverty porn, like, oh, poor them, like, oh, poor slumdog. But to them, all they're asking for is opportunity.
Right.
And an opportunity to advance themselves in life. So it gave me two perspectives. Like one, be incredibly grateful for the opportunity that you have, that you're here. So take full advantage of it.
Right.
And number two is have the audacity to be like, no, like I am happy with who I am and where I'm at.
That's such a great message.
Yeah.
Printers.
Printers. It's a racket.
Do you know where we got that from?
Yeah. I used to sell printers at Office Max. So my job was to sell printers at Office Max. I was supposed to tell people to buy the printers, and they'd be like, how much is a printer? I'm like, oh, the Canon inkjet is $79.99. And they're like, well, how much are ink cartridges? I'm like, it's about like $5,000 over the course of your life, so don't buy it.
They
It's not
really
worth it.
are so
They're so
expensive.
expensive. It is
I
a
don't get
huge
it.
racket. That was what I had to do, and then my manager came up to me and was like, Hasan, I'm sorry, like I gotta let you go. And I was like, why? And he's like, you're not selling printers. And I'm like, all right.
It's the nicest thing that happened to you. Maybe.
I know, yeah. He was like, and I didn't believe it at the time because I was like 17. He's like, you have a lot of potential though.
You will go further.
Yeah, you can do
than
so much
this
more than just
Office
selling
Max.
printers. And I was like, but I need money. All right.
Law school application.
Disappointment. I am so sorry, Mom and Dad. No, I didn't go. I completely understand this now because I want to have kids. When you come to this country and you're going to go to the roulette table called the American Dream, you don't roll comedian. It wasn't just about, I think, our parents and immigrant parents wanting to crush their children's dreams. I think it's the same concern that a lot of parents have for their kids. They just want their kids to be okay.
Right.
And have stability.
Absolutely. And be happy.
And be happy.
But
Yeah,
you're happy
right.
if you follow your passion.
Right,
So,
right.
So no law school.
No law school.
So your comedy touches on important issues like race and politics.
Yeah.
And what I'm wondering is how do we get young people to care more about those issues?
I think the biggest thing, in my job as a satirist, what I want to do is to show that caring and actually really putting your own personal equity and skin in the game does matter and it does affect your life. And every once in a while, I think there are politicians and people that come along that really do move and connect people. I think Barack had that.
Absolutely.
I think Cory Booker has that.
Yeah.
I think Bernie Sanders had that
Yeah.
ability to go, hey, I hear what you're saying and I connect with you. What they have is the same thing great, performers try to have, is just a level of honesty that brings people in.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's more people that are able to connect.
Yeah. But don't you find that like with your clothes and the thing that you're trying to do through your creative expression, which is clothing, aren't you trying to tell a narrative or story that's authentic to your...
Absolutely. You can't do anything else. So
Right.
there's going to be trends that come and go, and I may
Right.
miss some of them. But as long as I'm authentic, there's enough people in the world that like what you do.
Right.
And like what I do.
Yeah.
So you don't always have to be a media darling, but it helps when you want to get your message out. And the message is bigger than clothes, and it's bigger than comedy. What you're working
Sure.
on is changing how people view us.
Correct.
What are ways we can encourage young people to speak their truth, even when they're not mainstream ideas? So going back to high school,
Right.
and you're scared for people to know that you're different.
Wow, it's so hard.
It's so hard.
It's so hard to tell younger kids that, hey, what you're going through in this moment is just a transient
Right,
experience in the
right.
game of life. I struggled with this in middle school and in high school, like putting on a facade and trying to be something that you're not. If you were to take an aerial shot of my high school, it was a sea of white and there was one brown dot. It was like a Kanye West concert. It was like this one brown dot and there's like this sea of Caucasia around it.
Right.
And it was like that. And so to me, what I wanted to do is you just want to fit in. And that's really what this idea of like whiteness and acceptance meant for me. You're just asked less questions. Huh? What's your name? Where are your parents from? What language you guys
Right.
speak? The food, what's
How
that
do you
smell?
pronounce your name?
Yeah, how do you, yeah, all that stuff. And I didn't want to deal with that. And so you do everything you can to try to fit in. And it isn't until later in life that you realize like your quirks, those things are really, really special.
What is the best advice you've ever received?
Jon Stewart told me to move towards your discomfort. Those things that are really ugly and scary to talk about. We've all felt it, whether it's like in a group of friends and you're in a social situation and someone actually says the elephant that is in the room. You're like,
right.
oh, thank
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
thank you for saying that. Like I felt that way. And to me, is to have the courage and audacity to stand up for what's right.
Through humor.
Yeah, through humor or satire or whatever.
Right.
Whatever your sort of intrinsic gift is, but do it. And humor is a very powerful thing.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
Love it. So
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you for some advice
Okay.
on fashion. What do we think of this?
This is the American dream. To have the ability to be able to walk on a carpet and people will take photos of you dressed like this. That is what my parents fought so hard to be in this country.
So you like
for this
it.
moment.
You like
yeah,
this one. You love
it's
this.
Cool.
It's
I
cute.
guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
who wore it best?
Who wore it best?
The pajama look.
I like this one. This one's kind of cool. The blue one in the
yeah,
middle.
she is cute. She's pretty cute too.
Yeah, I like her too.
That's me.
Oh yeah.
Here's a funny little story. I wore men's pajamas because at the time my daughter was 12 or so, and she wanted this tracksuit that everybody had, and I was like, absolutely no, you have to dress differently.
Okay.
And she's like, well, you don't. So I wore pajamas on the red carpet to show her how all of the negative press, and I did get negative press, it really doesn't matter. Some people like you, some people don't. And last but not least, what do you think of this look?
I don't know who this guy is, but he just seems like a pretty awesome dude.
Yeah,
Seems like
yeah,
a good guy.
Yeah, I like this nice clean pocket square, very Tom Ford-ish.
Yeah.
It's a great look.
Thank you.
It's a great look. Okay, so the last thing I would like to ask you is what cause is important to you?
It is to help facilitate and open doors for New Brown America. I feel like there's so many people, the country that we live in, and this is a blessing, isn't black or white, it's beige, it's like Drake. And the world that I want to fight for is where every kid, regardless of race, color, creed, class, or gender, gets a fair opportunity in what is otherwise a free market, but they still have a fair shot to succeed. And so through my little thing of comedy and satire, whatever I can do to give other people an opportunity and a voice to do that, that's what I want to do.
That's the perfect American dream, and you're killing it.
Cool, thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.